Imagine when you come back to school or even in virtual learning, if I sang everything. I sang you history with music and accompaniment and all of that. I didn't talk at all, I just sang everything. Well, in the Empire of Songhai, that's what they had. That's what they had. They didn't have a written language, so their history was sung. So you'll actually get to see that today in our lesson when we describe the Songhai Empire and the legacy of all the empires that we have talked about this week. So we went through the aim. We're going to have our map skills do now. We're going to review that do now. Then we have notes and then your practice. You do have a quiz tomorrow over our three empires of Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. Um, and you want to make sure you're studying and reviewing either these videos. Actually, you want to make sure you're watching these three videos um, for that. There will be a little bit of climate. Um, there will be a few climate questions as well, so you want to make sure that you are reviewing and rewatching the videos. Another thing I'm going to do tomorrow is before you start the quiz, you will have a review to do that I'll go over with you via video so that you can study for the quiz. All right, so we have a true false question this time. Let me move the screen down so that you can see question 5. And so what you are going to do is answer 1 through 5 true or false. So you can go ahead and pause your video. All right, so let's check our work. So number 1, French is spoken in France and in part of Switzerland. So I'm going to go to my key, which has different colors for the different languages. We're going to find French, which seems to be that light baby pink color. We are going to find that color on the map. So we see that pink color obviously in France. And then the second part of the question is French spoken in part of Switzerland. So I'm going to find Switzerland, and you can see the border lines, the boundary lines, and there is a little bit of pink in there. So that's actually number 1 is going to be true. Number 2, German is only spoken in Germany. So I'm going to go to my key and find German, which is that pale kind of nude color. And I'm going to find Germany, and it is in fact that color, but we also see Luxembourg and Switzerland and Austria have German as the official language in those countries as well. So number 2 is going to be false. Number 3, Portuguese is the main language of Spain. I see this deep red. I go to my key, and that is not the language of Portuguese. Portuguese is only spoken in Portugal. Number 4, Basque is only spoken in parts of France and Spain. We see it is in Spain, but I don't see any deep red or maroon in France. French is the only language spoken in France. I see the light pink. I don't see any other colors, so that answer is false also. So we've got 2 new words today and 2 review words that are really important to know. I mean, they're all important to know, but really are the last 2 words are going to follow us through all of our lessons and all of our empires this year. So a griot is a professional storyteller. That's what I was talking about in the opening. They're basically oral historians who were the keepers of West African history. They kept the history through poetry and song and music. So a lot. We're actually in the video you're going to watch Monday. You'll actually see you'll see that as well. But if you want to see it early, which I'm sure you do, if you just click on the blue link, you can see a live performance of that and how that looks. A Sunni, and we're not talking, we've seen this word before, we've seen this in our Muslim empires, because we had the Shia and the Sunni, and we're not talking about that. In Songhai, the title Sunni is actually the title of king. So you will, just like in Mali when we had Mansa for Mansa Musa as the title of king, in Songhai, we have Sunni as that title for king. And then one of our review words is commercial. And we're not talking about commercials you see on TV. We're just talking about anything having to do with trade and business. And then legacy is an influence from the past. So what did West Africa leave behind that we still think about and use today? So you can pause and get that down before moving on. And then this is a really great chart that I definitely want you to study for tomorrow. What I suggest you do even is instead of just, you know, um, an idea to do is maybe take a picture on your phone of this chart. And then that way you can study it even if you aren't you don't have to be on the computer to study it. Um, if you want, so I kind of, suggest that as an option. But what it does is we've seen the first two. We've seen the Ghana and Mali portion, but you have not seen the Songhai portion. But so anyway, we see key accomplishments and then how the empire ended. So you can kind of compare and contrast that. You definitely want to study this, possibly for a short answer. Um, so you want to keep this in the back of, well, not in the back, in the front of your mind. This is a really great map too. I'm going to move my face for a hot second. Um, this is just a map of all of the empires that we've studied this week or that we're going to finish today. And you can see that a lot of them overlap, the regions, because they took place during different times. So you can see the yellow line is the Empire of Ghana, and this is from 300 CE to 1000 CE. But then Mali doesn't come around as a huge empire until 1200, and that's to 1450. And then Songhai is the orange, and that stretches from 1450 to 1600. So you can see they're all around rivers and they overlap, so they all kind of had similar regions that they were in charge of, and that tells us a lot about the resources there as well. So we are going to go ahead and get started, and then we will answer the questions, and then I will kind of review what you're going to do as or on your own, and then I will set you free. All right. So, rise of the Songhai Empire. In the 1300s, Mali controlled trading cities along the Niger or Niger River. One of these cities was Gao, the capital of the Muslim kingdom of Songhai. Rulers of Mali following Mansa Musa began losing control of the empire in the 1400s. When they lost control of Gao, Songhai grew in power. Under a Muslim leader named Ali, it became the center of a new empire. In 1464, Ali Ber became king of Songhai, taking the title Sunni. Ali Ber means Ali the Great. Sunni Ali was a great military leader. He kept mounted warriors to protect the land. He also had a fleet of war canoes patrolling the Niger River. This extended from Songhai's empire along the Great Bend of the Niger River. Oops. Once in power, Ali wanted to gain control of Timbuktu, a center of the gold salt trade. At that time, a nomadic people called the Tuareg controlled the city. In 1468, Ali's well-equipped army basically took them over. They also next captured Jenne, another wealthy trading city. With the successful capture of Jenne, Songhai controlled the trans-Saharan trade routes. So I'm going to exit. Let me see here. So what I'm going to have you do is pause your video and answer these 3 questions that you see on your screen. So go ahead and pause. All right. So why was it so important for Mali to control the traffic on the Niger River? So it was super important because the river was the only way to get into the interior of West Africa. Whoever controlled it controlled trade for the entire area. And I'm just going to, if you want to pause the video and copy that, that's fine. I'm going to kind of jump back to the map so you can see. So you can really see in the map here that the Niger River, which starts here, and then ends here, it starts right about here, really goes all the way deep into Africa, so West Africa. So you can see, since it starts here, that's going to be your port. That's going to be things are going to start. But the only way to get deep into where the golden salt is that river. Okay, the Senegal is not that long. It's not going to get you there. So if you controlled that river, you controlled trade. You can say who comes in, who comes out. You can charge, I mean, I'm sure, they charge tax for that. Um, a fee to be able to use the river. We're going to see that with the Silk Road when we get to Asia, which was a major trade route across Asia into Western Europe as far as trade. So number 2, which cities did Ali Bear take control of? He took control of Ali Bear took control of Timbuktu and Jenne, which were major trade cities. So what was the effect of Ali Bear taking control of these 2 cities? So definitely Ali Bear now controlled the major trade cities and the trans-Saharan trading routes. I actually found that answer right here. With the successful capture of Jenne, Songhai controlled the trans-Saharan trade routes. Alrighty, let me present. And you can pause if you need to get that down. I like that hamster running. All right. You are going to answer 4, 5, and 6 on this page. It's going to have to do with the spread of the empire and then law and scholarship, because Islam is going to spread to this region. And so there are some review questions like, what is the Quran? Then I really want you to push your thinking and think about how could a common language help improve trade? So how does a group of people or a region. So in our do now we had, the color coded, France all spoke French, Spain also all spoke Basque. So how does that help improve trade? And then is this even still the case today? Why or why not? So do you today need a common language to grow in trade? And I want you to tell me why or why not. Then you are going to move on to the decline of the empire and then the legacy. And then what I want to make sure you submit and fill out the attendance form. And then your quiz tomorrow is over Ghana, Mali, Songhai, and the climate of Africa. So again, like I said in the opening, I will have a review in the video tomorrow for you before you take the quiz. So I highly suggest you watch it. The last quiz when I did a review, not many people watched it and it kind of showed in the grades. So you want to make sure you are continuing to push through virtual learning until we go back February 1st. Enjoy your day, get all your work done, relax, and I will see you tomorrow.